Hello everyone, Overcore95, The Wandering Knight here, and welcome to the next Q&A answers video. Here I am going to answer questions sent and submitted by you on the setup video from Monday. Now you guys gave me quite a few good questions, and I'm going to answer every single one of them for you guys. So we're going to start just going from the top down of how the comments are listed on here. So my first question is from Kyle Stevens, who asks two within here. It says, asks thoughts on Donald Trump, which I'm just not going to answer. The comment from a random person that's on there, I don't have that clipped, but it's politics bad, but that's not my answer to it. It's just my political thoughts on stuff should not in any way matter to you. But like, my thoughts on Donald Trump is, I don't care. So leave that. So then, but they also ask as well, can you do a play as well as can you do a playing with subs at 50 as well? Because I've been talking about when I hit 50 subs, I'm going to do a horror game. He's asking, can I do a game where I play with subs at 50? Certainly. I'd have to find exactly what game so that way I can maximize the amount of people in there. Because like if it's Overwatch, I really only can play with 5 other people. But if it's something where like maybe it's PC, maybe it's open game, free game, something everybody can play, we can build a large bubble in there and get a lot of people in there. So that will be something I would work on certainly for a 50 sub goal thing, as well as the horror game. So that's a definite yes on that. He also then separately asked, can we get a loud and mighty woot woot? This is from the Uncharted one where everybody was woot-wooting. So here we go. Woot woot! I don't know why my voice broke there, but it was fantastic. It added to it. All right, there we go. All right, next we're gonna go to Firefox318, and she asks 2 questions as well within her comment. She asks, do a reaction video. I actually have a counter question. Reaction to what? Because there are a lot of them. There's try not to cringe reaction videos. There's try not to laugh reaction videos. There's try not to cry reaction video. So what kind of reaction video would you like to see? What would you want me to react to? So, because I can do any of them with enough work on editing. Because that'll probably be one of my biggest editing tasks if I do one of those. Because I haven't been very well to take and piece and stuff together too well. So my question is, what would you like me to react to? And if I do it, it would be a little bit farther down the line when I get a little more comfortable with editing, but I would do one. Then she asks, or they ask, I should say they, because it's not declared if it's a man or a woman. Also, do you have a favorite childhood show? I have a couple. One of the ones I watched religiously for the longest time was every Saturday morning. I can remember watching Yu-Gi-Oh! And I loved the card game. I also remember watching Pokemon the exact same way. So Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! Are 2 of my big childhood shows that I watched. And those are 2 that I remember the most. There's a bunch of other ones, but when you watch like the Saturday morning cartoons, you'd have something maybe you loved for a season and then it was gone next season or whatever. Something just didn't click with it. So there's a lot of stuff I remember kind of watching. I also remember watching the Looney Tunes when I was with my grandparents. So like that kind of stuff is in my mind. That's what I think when I think of childhood show. So yeah, I mean, Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon. I was being formed into an anime lover from an early age. All right, next we have Alfred McGibby, who has 2 questions and 2 separate comments. So we're going to start with one and then do the next. He asked, will you play Hatoful again? Yes, I will. That will be coming soon. I wanted to get some other stuff this week, but Hatoful will be definitely having a second episode as well as a continuation to at least one complete storyline. I know technically with that game there's multiple storylines and who you end up with. We're going to do at least one complete storyline to end up with somebody. So there will be more Hatoful coming. And then he asks, what YouTubers do I watch? I watch a lot of different ones, between this channel and my original one that I made years ago just to watch stuff on YouTube and have, subscription lists too. But I watch people like Jacksepticeye and Markiplier. I do watch other gaming video gamer guys on here just to get, see what they're doing, try not to copy them too much, but also I enjoy their content. I love seeing, because while I have PC, I'm not a huge PC gamer, so seeing PC games is kind of cool for me. I also watch people like the Vlogbrothers. I've been watching them for years, and I love the work that they do for not only the YouTube community and the community, but like the world in general. The amount of stuff they put into charity work and education and stuff like that. I find that really, really important for the people that in that position to try and do stuff like that. I do really appreciate that stuff that they do. I also watch The Key of Awesome because I love music. I also love making fun of music, stuff like that. You know, I watch a bunch of different YouTubers. I've watched JonTron. I've watched Cinemassacre. I can't speak. Cinemassacre, or also known as the Nostalgia Critic. I watched AVGN. I've watched. There's a lot of YouTubers I watch, but probably the biggest ones that I almost, because if they put out a video, I'm guaranteed to watch it the day it comes out, is Vlogbrothers. Philip DeFranco, actually. I forgot about him. Jacksepticeye and Markiplier. Those are my big four, in a sense. Those are the ones I guarantee I'm going to go watch the day of the video coming out. The other guys I kind of watch whenever I feel like it. So, there you go. Next, we have Saucy Torbjorn. Love the name. Love it. Most prized possession is what they ask. I don't actually have it with me right now. What I have, my most prized possession personally is a Psalms and New Testament Bible book that's in German from my grandfather that was given to my grandmother, who then passed it down to me. The reason why I don't have it is because it's like 70 years old or something like that, and it was used constantly, specifically by my grandmother. But it's been used so much, the binding and the leather is cracked and damaged to a point where if you open it, pages will fall out. So I've left it at my parents' house while I've been looking to find somebody I can get to get the work done to fix it and rebind it properly. Because it also has a lot of stuff, my grandmother's handwritten things in there too. She wrote and added in pages of like Psalms and stuff that she did that maybe didn't have the book have in there. It's all in German. So I want to find somebody who can do the work properly, and I just haven't had the time to really focus on it. But it is my most prized possession because it's in a sense a family heirloom. It was passed down from my grandfather to my grandmother. My grandmother then bequeathed it to me before she passed away. So it's a connection to a grandfather I never knew because he passed away before I was born. My grandmother, who I knew for most of my life, and then it's just a connection piece that I want to hold on to. So that's my most prized possession. When I get it fixed, I would gladly show it in a video. But until then, it's going to stay safe and where I can get the work done properly. So thanks for asking that. Also, thank you for the comment about my smile. I really appreciate it. Guys like being complimented too. All right. Next, we have Carlton Banks, who again asks 2 questions, but in 2 separate comments. So again, we're going to do them each individually. What he first asks is, what has been your favorite thing about doing YouTube? My favorite thing about doing YouTube is actually being in a conversation with my viewers. When I'm doing the live streams and the chat is going crazy, and I'm able to read all this stuff while I'm playing, I love that. I love talking to the guys while I'm doing something. I love getting tips and stuff from you guys. I don't really like looking up, how to complete Objective A, for a game. But if you guys go, hey, take a left turn here, and you'll find something, that's a little different to me. It's kind of cool to get that stuff, especially during a live stream where I might be stuck. I love interacting with what community I have, and you guys have been growing and being more active with me, and it's fantastic for me. I love it. So that's probably my favorite thing about doing it. And also it's just being able to play games and entertain people with it. Which leads into the second question he asks is why did I start doing YouTube? I started doing YouTube because one of my favorite things during high school and stuff was doing the plays and entertaining people. I love to make people feel a little happier or just be entertained by something, and I wanted to do something with that for a long time. I tried getting into local theater in my area, but I couldn't afford to go to classes, stuff like that. So when I eventually got actually the PlayStation camera with my VR headset, I'm like, why don't I build up a YouTube channel a bit, have some fun, play games that I'm going to play anyways, but put them out there for people to, get entertained from, hopefully me reacting or doing stuff with the game. And for the first bit, I didn't even do a face cam because, well, maybe nobody's going to watch. Why put my face out right away? And then I eventually did because I was like, you know what? Let's put it out there, And that's kind of, so my biggest thing is I want to, I wanted to entertain people and hope, and eventually I mentioned this last video is last Q&A is hopefully add be able to do some good with it. Maybe put some, do some charity live stream stuff. Do, events where I'm like trying to help certain charities and stuff like that if I get a big enough audience. So that's kind of why I did YouTube, and I'll continue doing it for the exact same reasons. Next, next we have Flyers fan, who asks, do you play Kerbal Space Program XS2 and 1, and then do you play Claw for Fishing Planet? For Kerbal Space Program, I keep meaning to buy it and downloading it. I just forget. I do want to do some episodes with that, because I enjoy that game immensely, watching it and stuff like that. And I know it has such an opening that everybody's videos on it are different because there's so much you can do with that. So I definitely wanted to do some Kerbal Space Program, and I will be getting it soon. I got to finish up money spending off camera in my place, and then I'll have some extra money to be able to play around with on that. And then do you play Claw for Fishing Planet? I don't know what you mean by Claw. I'm assuming either that's a certain type of fishing rod and area, or it's something that I just haven't gotten to in the game. I do enjoy Fishing Planet, but I kind of am making that my own personal pastime game. If I get far enough in it where like I'm going crazy fishing or something like that, I will definitely do another episode, but I'm going to leave that alone for now. Next we have, and also thanks for the comment, thanks for the support about the videos. Next we have Muhammad Coat. Favorite game of all time. That's like asking me what my what most influential game is. It's like there's a lot of them. One of my personal favorite ones that I played for a long time and replayed it multiple times was God of War. Just because, for one thing, that was like the first hard, bloody platforming. Like that was the first time I played that type of game. Everything else I played before was like like kind of kids games in a sense. I played Rayman. I played some basic sports games. I didn't play anything that was like really, in a sense, meaty for a game. And even with Rayman, I was playing like the basic multiplayer thing with my brother most of the time. So this was like a first solo game where I really went heavy into it. So that's a personal favorite. I also like the original Call of Duty series, one of my favorite series, and I'm talking 1 through like first Modern Warfare stuff. After that, I kind of got lost in a bit, but I'm looking forward to World War II now because I love history. I love specifically war history and stuff like that. I'm fascinated by, what. In a sense, I'm fascinated by the destruction mankind can cause, but we can also do to kind of prevent it. So, So the favorite game of all time is a hard one to answer. I would have to probably say God of War or Call of Duty 1 and 2. Something in there. But there's more games coming out, so that can change at any time. I might actually try and do maybe later. I'll do a top 10 once I get a little better at editing again. I'll do a top 10 favorite video games or something like that. So, thanks for the question, and I appreciate everything else. Keep working on that 50 subs, I will, and thanks for being with me since like the very beginning, And this is still the very beginning, but thanks for being with me for a long time already. All right, next we have Kyle Smith, who says, try rapping Rap God by Eminem. Not right now. If I'm going to do that, I think I will. I think I will try that, even though I know I'm going to be horrible at it. I want to do it in its own separate little thing, because the full song, is a, 4-minute song, a little longer, 5-minute song. So that takes up a lot of time, but I want to at least try and do it justice, because I enjoy that song too. So if I'm going to do that, it's going to be a little bit later, with a little bit more skill, and then probably a better mic setup, because this mic's okay, but I really don't want to be trying to go, the entire thing into it, because I don't think it'd pick up as well. So that will be a little bit later when I have a little bit better stuff, but I will try that. That sounds fun. Finally, the final question is going to be from Sasha Fan. And what's your favorite Overwatch hero? Now, do you mean just aesthetics, like, storyline or play, who I like to play the most? I have a couple. In Overwatch, I'm mostly a tank main. Mostly by choice, but also partially by I'm forced to play a tank. So I have a couple in there. I like Reinhardt just because I like Reinhardt. I like hitting people with a hammer and having fun, and his catchphrases are hilarious and everything. I love him. I also love D.Va. D.Va's like my happy medium for a tank. Has some damage dealing abilities, has some mobility in certain points, has some defensive capabilities. Is nice rounded tank in a sense. Um, but I also like other characters. So my tanks are usually my go-to tanks. I'll put it this way: I will answer for each category: offense, defense, tank, and support. So for tanks, Reinhardt, D.Va. Trade between those two depending on the situation. Offense, I personally like Soldier. Very basic, very easy to pick up, very easy to put into, and can make changes in the game. Followed by Pharah. I'm not very good at her, but every time I've pulled her out, it's been enough to help push my team winning an objective or winning the game even sometimes. For defense, I like Junkrat and I like Torbjorn, depending on the situation. Again, these are all situational things, but I like Torbjorn and Junkrat. And then finally on support, I like Lucio and Mercy. I can play as Zenyatta, but I prefer to be Lucio or Mercy because I know how to move around with them better. So yeah, that's my favorite Overwatch heroes. That's the end of the Q&A for this time. I probably won't do another one for like next weekend. What I'll probably do is we'll wait a little bit, and then later in October I'll do another one, and then later in November I'll do another one. So once a month will become a Q&A. I'll do the exact same thing where I do a setup video, maybe a little bit update with those. Then the weekend after, on that Saturday, I will put out a Q&A video. So that's that. If you want to leave me some likes or other comments on here, I would gladly take them. I'd gladly love hearing from you guys, like I said. If you want to subscribe, please do. I play a bunch of video game stuff. There might be a video game tonight if this comes up fast enough. If not, then there'll be definitely tomorrow with Bloodborne. And then Monday and Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday will be more and more games I'll play. So other than that, though, thank you all very much for watching. I hope you liked it. And you have a good night and good morning wherever you are.